Avengers. Avengers. Hello everyone, Ryan here. So, obviously this is my review of Avengers End Game, which I recently saw over the weekend. And I'm going to try to make this as spoiler free as I possibly can, but I can't guarantee that. I guess what I can guarantee is, I won't reveal any major spoilers. Or at least what I consider to be major spoilers. So anyways, obviously it picks up where the last movie left off. There's that whole thing about Thanos. He pretty much killed 50% of all living things on Earth. And so everyone that's left on Earth pretty much fall into a depression of sorts. What I mean, they struggle to deal with the fact that, so many people have just suddenly, they've disappeared and all that. They struggle with it, they struggle to accept it, and, also struggle to find any kind of answer for it as to why or whatever. And that's pretty much the bulk of, I want to say, the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. I gotta admit, I wasn't too interested in the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie. I was more interested in everything else after that. It's just, for me, it just, the first 20, 30 minutes for me seemed to drag on a little bit. But I mean, there was still some interesting details, maybe a handful of interesting details that I had kind of forgotten from the other movies. But other than that, it was just, I was way more interested in everything else after that. And though you might consider this a spoiler, I really don't. It's because I think you can look it up. So time travel is involved in this movie. They figure out how to time travel thanks to Ant-Man. Because I won't give away the details. In fact, I don't even really think I could accurately describe how they figure out the whole thing with time travel. But they do. And so they're able to go back in time, gather up the stones, the Infinity Stones, in order to fix the damage that Thanos caused. And I guess you could say, for the most part, they are successful. Although they do hit some roadblocks, some serious roadblocks. Some serious stuff happens to delay them putting things right. That's another part of the movie I don't want to give away, but definitely interesting. And also too, I like that there's several references to Back to the Future and other time travel movies, but Back to the Future most notably. Back to the Future for me is, I want to say, definitely my favorite, absolute favorite time travel movie. And not only that, but time travel, sci-fi, comedic kind of movie. So, as I'm sure it is for a lot of other people. But, anyways, getting back to Endgame. There's a lot of references to Back to the Future, other time travel movies. And again, like I said, for the most part, they're successful at setting things right. And that's not really a spoiler. I don't think it is. I mean, come on. You gotta figure, in all the other movies, the Avengers were successful pretty much. So yeah, it's like, although I will say I remember in the comic book version, I remember there being like 3 different versions, possibly more than that, but I only remember 3 because I read the comic books back in the 90s, the good old 1990s, when I was a kid. I remember there was 3 versions, and one version is that they all die, yeah, they all die, and there was another version where only one of them dies, and then another one where like a couple of them die, or like 2 or 3 of them die. So yeah, and those aren't spoilers. You can look that up. Again, that's all from the comic books back in the 90s, possibly even late 80s, I want to say. But definitely 90s. So yeah, and you know, oh yeah, and Thor has a beer belly in this. Of course, not right away, but later on, after it shows like 5 years had passed, and Thor has a beer belly. As well as, like, I mean, extra weight on him in general. But it doesn't really slow him down. I mean, as far as fighting goes, it doesn't slow him down. I mean, because he is supposed to be a god. So, I mean, last time I checked. So, yeah, that's one of the comedic elements of this movie. Another thing I liked is that Hulk, I mean, pretty much Bruce Banner figures out a way to merge his 2 sides together. He figures out how to successfully merge Bruce Banner's mind, you know, intelligence, with the Hulk's strength. So, yeah, I mean, I won't say any more than that. But, I mean, he still looks just like the Hulk. I mean, just not as huge and out of control. And so, of course, I mean, since I can't really mention anything else without spoiling anything, really, I will say I'll just cut right to the end. The big battle scene at the end was just definitely spectacular. One of the best, probably even I would say like top 5 or top 10, at least top 10 best battle scenes I've seen in a movie, in any movie, but especially in a superhero movie. Yeah, it was just, you know, and of course, yeah, they do fight Thanos. I don't consider that a spoiler. And yeah, everything just comes together at the right moment. Of course, I mean, that's how, obviously, the writers and producers, director, or whoever had it planned out. And then, of course, there are some sad moments. You know, I don't want to say who dies, at least not in this. Maybe I'll do a separate spoiler review. That way I can talk a lot more about it, about certain details. And but overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I expected I was going to like it. Because, like I said, I kind of knew what to expect. I knew that there were several different versions, different possible versions, several different possible endings. And I believe they chose a good one, a good ending. Yeah, okay, you know, as a fan, they could have done slightly more with it, but, you know, I'm getting to the point in my life where I really I'm not looking for perfection or, I mean, I would say like it's taken me a while, but, you know, or at least over the past 5 years or so, I learned to embrace imperfection and just go with the flow and all that. So, yeah, it's good. It's awesome. It's great. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go check it out. Get your tickets as soon as you can. Because, yeah, I feel like this is one of those movies that everyone has to see at least once. Just once, if for nothing else, just so they could say that they saw it. I mean, there are definitely some surprise moments in this. And yeah, again, some sad moments. But overall, I enjoyed it thoroughly. So as far as the rating goes, I'm going to give it, I got to give it 10 out of 10. I would say bare minimum 9.5, but 10 out of 10 all the way. It just, and not only that, but in addition to the fact that, I mean, I know a lot of people teared up during the sad moments. And yeah, I kind of felt like, they were touching moments, but for me, I only kind of teared up during one of the fight scenes, action sequences. Not because anyone got hurt or killed or anything. Mostly because they reminded me so much of when I was a kid and I used to play with my action figures. My different superhero action figures. And I would act out these, outlandish scenes. And I swear one of the scenes was something that just totally reminded me of some scene that I made up when I was a kid. But I think a lot of other kids did too. It was just, one of those awesome action kind of moments that, something that only a kid or a true fan can think of. So, yeah, I wish I could go into it further, but again, I can't without spoiling too much. So, but again, I give it 10 out of 10. That'll do it for the spoiler-free review of Avengers End Game. Let me know if you've seen it. What did you think of it? If you plan on seeing it, again, I definitely recommend everyone watch it at least once. So. And of course, later on, I think I will do some kind of spoiler talk, so I can get a little more in depth with it. But again, 10 out of 10. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Go see it if you haven't seen it. Go right now. Go right now. Now. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for listening. As always, till next time, don't forget, keep it real. Keep on rocking, and peace.